Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Depression Files. My name is Charlotte McFarland, and the goal here on this channel is for us to learn about mental health and mental health disorders together, as well as to talk about my experience with my own mood disorders. So that's a hard question to answer, both a hard and easy question to answer. Let me stop confusing you and start with, it really depends on many different variables. So first we have the chemical imbalance. Like snowflakes, no two people's brains are exactly the same, therefore they don't process exactly the same. So the amount of chemical wedgie that someone else is getting doesn't mean that I'm getting that same amount, or I may be getting less floods of chemicals or less deprivation of the serotonin that I need or the dopamine that I need. So again, brain biology really does play into it. And then there is the mindset. So I would say growing up, I had a very closed mindset. I had a this is all there is and this is who I'm always going to be because of it, so deal with it kind of mindset. And as I have gotten older and I have matured and I realized that I don't want to live like that anymore, I have developed an open mindset, which says, this can get better. I can fight this. I can live the life that I want to live, but I have to fight for it. Not everybody has that mindset. Please don't berate someone if they don't, but because I can tell you that it's very, very hard when you have depression to develop that mindset. It took years upon years, and I still battle it all the time. So I just kicked my stand, sorry. I fixed my stand, by the way. So we have the brain not processing chemicals the same. We have the different types of attitudes / mindsets. We also have upbringing. So there was this girl who had a very similar background to me. She had also been molested. She had also been raped. She had also been mentally abused. We had a very similar background. The difference was, though, she didn't escape it as quickly as I did. So I was adopted when I was 5 years old, and my mother, my true mother, she was a counselor, and she has a psychologist degree. She may correct me on that, but it's a degree you have when you can be a counselor. And she knew the signs, and so she started an early intervention for me, whereas this other girl didn't get that. So she lived in it for much longer than I did. But even if you were to find somebody who has the same sexual abuse that I've gone through, has gone through the same mental abuse that I've gone through, who lived almost the exact same childhood that I did, got out of it at the same time, received the same therapy, whatever. Someone could be literally identical to me in situation in every way, shape, or form. And it doesn't matter because everybody is different. So if you have depression, please don't compare yourself to another person who has depression. I mean, there's so many factors that weigh into it. Don't feel bad because you don't feel like you should have the level of depression you do, because your story doesn't match up to mine. Your story doesn't match up to someone else's. So I had someone who did that, and they're like, well, I guess I shouldn't be depressed. And I'm like, hey, you don't need my depression, my depression. You don't need my depression. You don't need my permission to be depressed. You don't need anybody's permission to be depressed. You are, because of so many different factors. I mean, I've looked and looked and looked, and there's so many scientists who just say, I don't know, is basically what they're saying is, I don't know what triggers this. I don't know what triggers the brain to start doing the chemical cocktails that it does. We don't know. So don't let anybody make you feel bad. because of it. And again, I can't explain to you why your depression is not as bad as mine, because there's so many things that go into it. That was the almost 5-minute answer to that question, sorry.
The darkness is my only friend.
Yeah, that's what people think depression is all about, but there is a website called, hold on, let me look here, Here to Help, and they really define what sadness is versus what depression is. So I'm actually just going to read this to you because I can't give you a better explanation than this. Sadness is a normal reaction to loss, disappointment, problems, or other difficult situations. Feeling sad from time to time is just another part of being human. Very true. In these cases, feelings of sadness go away quickly and you can go about your daily life. Just stopping there, it won't feel quickly to you, especially if it's about loss. But compared to depression, it is a lot quicker. They go on to say other ways to talk about sadness might be feeling low, feeling down, feeling blue. A person may say that they are feeling depressed, but if it goes away on its own and doesn't impact life in a big way, it probably isn't the illness of depression. So a big difference between being sad and being depressed. I got this question before, I would always try and pull out everything that was wrong with my life, like I have to justify a mood disorder. I mean, I did that to a point where I was pulling things out of thin air. And if any of us look very hard, we can find the things that we can be sad over or have depression over. It's best not to do that. So again, in the past, I would pull out all the things that had happened to me in the past to justify a disorder that I have no control over. I don't do that anymore. I tell them very honestly, I said, I have a very good job. I have an awesome boss. I have wonderful coworkers. I make enough money that I bought my car and my house by myself, no co-signers. And I eat, I have electricity, I have internet, I have everything that I could possibly need and a few things that I want. So on the surface, no, it doesn't look like I have such a hard life that I should have depression. As I said before, there are so many different factors that go into this disorder. It has nothing to do. Well, let me correct that. It does have something to do with life circumstances, but it is not solely based on your life circumstances. Brain wedgie from the chemicals, life circumstances, past life circumstances, and type of mindset that you have. And I'm sure I'm missing a few others. If I am and you know what I'm missing, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. But again, it isn't solely based on what's going on in my life right now because it's a disorder. There is no rhyme or reason to this disorder whatsoever. And if you're an individual who has said this to someone, please take that out of your vocabulary. I don't care if the person has depression or not. It's a rude question to ask. It's just a mean-spirited, rude question to ask in whatever situation you ask it for. So, take that sentence and throw it out the window.